All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the NOMA Truck Series presented by Manny Rays. Tonight we have the Clash going on here at Daytona Super Speedway. They're going to have 20 laps to go, 20 laps in the first heat, and then we will switch over to the second heat where we will have about 40. The top 10 drivers qualify into the. Oh crap! I missed that memo. Joey?
Yeah, so it's the top 10 drivers from the points last season. It's automatically into the feature. Then you take your top 5 from this race. They'll make it.
That's the one. That's what I was looking for. I thought I had my notes up, but yeah, I was lying to myself. All right, we got about 2 minutes left in qualifying. We're going to step aside, and we're going to play that beautiful national anthem. So remove those hats and place your hand over your hearts, and we'll give these drivers a few minutes to finish up their qualifying while we play that national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, as qualifying is almost wrapped up, we got about 24 seconds left in qualifying. Then we'll get to green flag racing here at Daytona Super Speedway. Joey, the off season was a short one, but it was a great season, at the end of last season. Tell us what you think we'll see a little bit in this season.
Same song, second verse, to be honest with you. We didn't really change a whole lot. Like you said, we only took a couple of weeks off, so didn't really have time to put in some changes that we wanted to do, but I'm still looking forward to this season. I know we got a great lineup of drivers, some returning from last season, a lot of new ones coming in this season, so I think we're going to have a good little season here, and we'll look forward to getting some things changed around and start 2025 off with a fresh start. Oh no, hang on one second.
All right, these drivers are starting to get gridded in as we will take one pace lap around the pace truck. Will dive off the track and we will get the green flag racing. And while we are waiting for that to happen, let's take a look at tonight's lineup for this evening's race. All right, starting on the front row, it is gonna. Oh, wrong one. Starting on the front row. Try this once again, is going to be Jonathan Herbert and Milkwitz. I probably butchered his name. Very apologetic for that. In that number 96, row number 2 is going to be Fred Anderson, and you got Evan Schillings. Row number 3 is looking like Sam Boutwell and Haas Beverly. Row number 4 is Derek Cat and James Wagner. That old Wagner Welding, number 30. Row number 5, Scalino and Klein. Row number 6 is looking like Bustos and Mark Beverly. Row number 7 is going to be Christopher Melton and Jay Stinson. Row number 8 is going to be Dylan Pass. And you got Jesse Calloway. And wrapping up the field is going to be Peter Dillon in that number 50. All right, drivers are loaded in. We're getting ready to come off of pit road. That 87 is going to bring us to the green flag. He has to wait for the green flag to drop before they can go. And then if we see a caution, he will be the leader will be in control of the restarts as long as all 4 tires are in the Geico restart zone. And there is that pace truck off pit road. And here they all come. 17 drivers loaded into tonight's race. Jay Stinson not loaded, not coming out of the pit road. We'll have to see how that all plays out.
Badman the race.
Gotcha. So Jay was one of those ones that qualified in. And here they come out of turn number 2, headed for that backstretch. Miss Chastity out there in the chat. Hello, glad to see you out there. Glad you're tuning in. I told her that I was going to try to broadcast this in a British accent. Let's see how this goes.
So you're gonna call it like an Alabama British accent?
Yeah, countryfied British.
I like it.
I don't know if I can do it. All right, turn number 3. One more turn until they hit that front stretch, that tri-oval, and we will get going. Green flag racing.
You know, Richard, 20 laps here, it sounds like a lot, but it's really not a lot of time, especially for the guys that qualified in the back. How aggressive do you think they're going to be once the green flag falls here?
I think we're going to see some pretty aggressive driving. I think we'll see that three wide action come very quickly, and here they come. Pace truck will be off. Herbert going to bring them to the start of tonight's 20-lap race. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really aggressive. There's a Geico restart zone, and we are going to be green flag racing here tonight at a Daytona Super Speedway. And it's going to be a side-by-side restart, at least for the top 4. It looks like the Highline did not get the memo, as that is going to be, I believe, that's going to be the 77 of Schilling. No, that's going to be the 22. The 22, that's going to be Haas Beverly. He did not get the best of restart, the best of starts on that. And you can see that Highline, it is already starting to fall apart, which the low line is going to be the dominant line from what we've seen here at Daytona. As they come down that backstretch, they are pretty much going to be the nose to tail. You got the 87, the 94, and the 47 all pretty much tucked up in a line. But, Joey, how long can they stay tucked up in a line without overheating those trucks?
Well, at the start of the race, cool temps right now. You could probably push for a good solid 3 laps or so before they start really pushing it to the yellow and then to the red. So, I mean, right now, I don't really think you'll see overly pushing, especially from the top 4 here. They're comfortably in to the next round. So the big show is going to be from about the 3rd line on back. Those are the guys that you'll see getting kind of aggressive with their moves.
Well, Jonathan Herbert is going to be in that lead position. He's got Anderson. He's going to be about the 7/100ths of a second back. We got some shuffling going on in the back, trying to get that Highline motivated and making some moves. And it looks like the Highline is actually going to try to prevail here. As did we figure out Don's last name? I don't want to butcher it.
I did not, no, sir.
Well, you got the 96 on that Highline trying to get it motivated and make some moves. And you got James Wagner, which he is going to be a part of the Wagner Welding series on Mondays and Wednesdays. You know, he's new to the NOMA series, and you know he's going to be. I foresee some great things coming out of that number 30, along with a couple other drivers that came from those series also.
Yeah, like I said, we got quite a few new people in here. I haven't never raced with them, so that's what makes the clash in the first week of the season always an adventure, because a lot of new guys around. You don't really know, not really used to racing with the guys, so you're not used to their tendencies or anything. It can make for some very interesting racing.
Absolutely, and Jonathan Herbert lost the lead for just a moment, and then that highline started to fade back, and here it comes again. The 96 is going to make another run for it. He's got the 77 in tow, and that is going to be Schilling. Schilling going to be down one position from where he started this race. 22 of Haas Beverly going to be right there in line. And let's take an onboard on this nose cam and show you how tight they are racing. Very tight racing, a little bit of bump drafting down the backstretch, giving a little bit of room from what I've seen here in the opening laps. A little bit of wiggle from the Menard 77 Chevrolet.
Yeah, I think he's starting to get a little bit hot, trying to get some fresh air. And Fred Anderson's going to take the lead on the outside here. He should be the leader when they come back to the line.
And the 94, Fred Anderson, did lead that lap. And here comes the 70. Here comes this 87 once again, right back out to the lead. And the two trucks that don't have to worry about any air or getting any air to that nose is going to be that 94 and that 87. And I look for Sam Boutwell to jump to this outside. And oh, I'm wrong. The 21 is going to jump to the outside, and that's going to be Derek Catt. Some tight.
Yeah, Derek ran with us last season. I noticed as the season went on, he got a lot more comfortable racing. So look for some big things from him this season with that MMT team.
Absolutely. Got quite a few new sponsors on board this season. You want to tell us about a few of them?
Yeah, our big new one is Abingdon Collision. They come on to sponsor our Monday night Super Speedway series. So happy to have them on. We're going to have some more information on them coming Monday. But just couldn't be more proud of everybody who worked together to get the sponsors. I know Jason done a lot of stuff for us to pick up some new guys, and of course we kept a lot of old ones. So got Raymond and Manny Race back for another season in the truck series. So just looking forward to it. Hope we can put on a good show for everybody.
Absolutely, and Sam Boutwell going to jump to that outside, give the 87 a run for his money as they are coming out of turn number 4. Got a big bump from the 21 coming out of turn number 4, trying to get that high line right back out front with Sam Boutwell leading that high line right through the tri-oval across the start-finish line. It is going to be the 87 of Jonathan Herbert. He is going to lead another lap. The biggest mover of the race, and I called him out earlier, is going to be one of those drivers coming from the Wagner Welding Wagner Welding series, and that's going to be that 49 of Chris Melton. He is up 9 positions from where he started. Jesse Calloway is going to be your second biggest mover, and we can put that actually on your screen, and it's going to change quick, fast, and in a hurry as the bump drafting and the positions change so quickly. But Chris Melton now back up 11 positions, taking over that second spot on that high line.
Yeah, you notice with every lap, the bumps get a little bit harder. They stay in them a little bit longer, a little bit closer to the line. So now you got one that's on the apron right here. Oh, that was tight between the 44. I can't tell who that other truck was, but I think it was the 34 truck. Sorry, I'm still trying to learn names right here. Yeah,
New
Jesse
names,
Calloway there.
New
Yeah,
names, new numbers.
new names, new numbers, new colors. I was like, I don't know half these trucks.
Well, great racing indeed it's been. And, I kind of like the look of Klein. His paint scheme, that 44 we were just talking about, he's got Bobcat all over it. And that's who I actually work for, is a Bobcat dealer. So that's
That's your pick to win, huh? He just made a nice move to the outside.
yeah. Oh, 47. He's giving a big bump to that 44, getting him right out front. 9 positions up from where he started, and Klein is going to take the lead on the high side. He's looking to the bottom, not going to be able to get there. Oh, a little bit of contact. No. And they say, nope. I don't think he was able to save that. Yes, he was.
They all saved it. They're staying green.
Well, the red, white, and blue 87 is going to be able to prevail. Lap number 9, Sam Boutwell, probably not getting the best radio comms right now, as he was not clear to that bottom line. You know, it's funny to see that, you know, some of his team is not here tonight.
So they actually the rest of his team actually advanced into the final round, so you'll see them later, as well as most of the Venom boys. You'll see them later tonight.
And it looks like the 11 of Dylan Pass, he's going to be your biggest mover. He's going to be up 10 positions after that little incident, and sent a couple of these big movers back to the back. Mark Beverly in that number 55, he's kind of hanging tough right there in the top 10, up 2 positions from where he started. And we're going to do a little bit of 3 wide with the 11 21 stuck in the middle, and that's going to be Derek Catt. He's got the 22 of Hoss Beverly joining him in that middle lane, and it looks like the high line is going to fall apart very, very quickly, and we're back to 2 wide racing.
Yeah, it looks like Derek got a little bit close to the wall there. Kind of tagged a little bit coming out of the corner, so that killed the outside line. So you got your most aggressive driver, I think, in this field, Sam Botwell. He's leading, but I think the most conservative driver, the smartest, or who tries to think the farthest ahead, would be Fred Anderson right there, pushing him on the inside. That's an interesting duo, those two.
Absolutely. And back to the middle of the pack, we're riding around with Mr. Mark Beverly. He's going to be right there in front of James Wagner, 14, having a little bit of a wiggle, and that's going to be that Sonic Graphics.
Yeah, that's such a good looking truck. I don't know who actually owns Sonic Graphics, but they can put out some beautiful paint schemes.
Oh,
now we got a wreck. We got a wreck.
And he saves it. He's going to go back to the back, though. And who was that? That was the 44. Oh, well, there went my driver.
Yeah, that looked like it come from the start. I think the front 2 kind of got together, and then they checked up, and then it's a chain reaction. Once everything starts happening that fast, you really can't control what's going on in the back. You're kind of just along for the ride.
And it looks like Kevin Reese is out there and saying, "Let's go, Herb." Well, Herb is going to be back here. He has the 77 of Schilling, going to be right there along with him. They got a 2-truck draft. They do have the tail end of the draft from Bustos, I believe that is. Or, yeah, that's going to be Bustos.
Yes, Jake. Yeah. I think Jake right now is just biding his time. He probably expects a wreck to be coming at some point within the next couple of laps. So.
And it looks like Kerry Klein is going to be in the pits, going to have to use that faster prepare to get that truck back up to speed. And the 11 working on the outside, and that's going to be Dylan Pass. He's going to be your biggest mover of this race so far. And 47 to Sam Boutwell, he's getting a nice little push by the 94, and that's going to be Fred Anderson. Fred Anderson giving it all he has, and Dylan Pass going to take over the low lane, and Sam Boutwell all over the back bumper.
He didn't have much room to pull that off. That was a gutsy move. That was a good move by Dylan on that one.
And let's ride on board with the gearbox cam of Dylan Pass. And there you see Sam Boutwell all over that back bumper.
Dylan and Sam both, they're sitting in the catbird seat. They don't need to gain positions. They don't need to race too hard here, get each other out of line. If they can just stay right there where they are, there's not enough trucks on the outside to actually make a run. So they would actually be in the show. And as I say that, same goes to the outside. So forget that.
And it changes in a split second.
Welcome to Daytona, huh?
Exactly. All right. Go ahead.
Bustos tried to go 3 wide there. Nobody went with him. He lost a couple of spots there.
Well, on board of the spotter cam, it looks like a couple of these drivers are still waiting as we have reached lap number 15. We only got about 6 laps to go. And until we see that flag, and until we see that checkered flag, but while we are under green flag racing, let's go ahead and go side by side and take a look at one of tonight's sponsors, the Blue Ridge Auto Group.
And we have our other caution.
Oops, I forgot to unmute us. Oh, well, that means everything that I just said, everybody missed. Well, two green, white, checkered attempts we will have here tonight. And if we need them, we definitely have them. But 30-22 brought out the first caution. We'll go back green with 2 to go. If we need those other green, white checkers, we definitely will have them. But if they wreck under, while they are under the last green and white checkered, that's where they're going to pretty much finish. But this is where the racing is going to get aggressive, and we will be having a 10-minute transition in between races for this heat, for the final feature. So we're going to take that 10 minutes and go get us some ice cold beverage and maybe a snack or two and get ready for 40 laps of Daytona. But the racing here has been pretty exciting and has went pretty darn quick. But as of right now, Dylan Pass, he is going to be your biggest mover of the race, and he's going to be up 14 positions, and he's going to have control of this restart. Now, at Super Speedway Racing, you find out who your friends are. Who do you think Dylan Pass is going to be able to work with? Well, it looks like he is going to be working with the 96. So
yeah, right now, if you're on the inside lane, all you can really do is, especially in that second row, is just keep pushing. I mean, if you can finish 4th again, 3rd, you advance. It doesn't matter 3rd, 4th, 5th, as long as you can get there. The name of this one is to survive and advance to the next one, to the big one tonight. So I think they'll test out the boundaries of this one before it's all over. I'm pretty sure we'll see some 4-wide racing.
Absolutely. Nancy was out there saying, am I the only one without sound? I was going to mess with her and be like, yeah. I don't know what's wrong with your system.
Don't do that. She'll be calling me up going, hey, what's wrong with your stuff?
Who installed this?
It looks like we're going to start paying you some more so you can upgrade your equipment, huh?
Absolutely. I love raises. All right,
I can say we're not Fox or NBC.
All right, well, it is going to be 2 laps to go. Pace truck lights are out. They are double file, ready to get this thing back underway. Dylan Pass is going to have the control of the restart as soon as he hits that Geico restart zone. So pull those belts tight one more time. Let's see if we can get this one over with and get to the final feature and see who is going to win that 40 lap race. All right, goodbye pace truck as he brings that pace truck down pit road. Geico restart zone, and we are back green flag racing. Nice jump for Dylan Pass. He is going to put a little bit of a gap.
I think that's too big of a jump. The outside lane is going to have a major run when they come getting into 1 and 2 here. The thing about plate racing is you don't want to get too far out in front. You see the outside lane, they are just hooked up and they're rolling on by. There's nothing the inside lane can do. They'll go to the inside, they'll cover it now. So I think it might be coming down to a race between, I would say, probably from the 55 on up to the 94 there.
Well, it looks like the 11 is going to be hanging back as we are here with 2 to go. So far, so good. As they come out of turn number 4, they will take the white flag for 1 to go. If they wreck it, it's all over. You finish wherever you cross the line. And the 34 is sitting, or the 94 is going to be sitting in a really good spot. Can he control both? Don't count that number 49 out. That is going to be on the outside as he's looking to get a little bit of a side draft from Dylan Pass right there in 3rd. He's got the 55 right there on his back bumper. That Toyota is putting down everything he can. Got a little bit of 3 wide looking in the back, but they tuck in for the 2 wide racing. And the 55 is going to give a nice shove to the 49. He is going to have the 3rd position as they come into turn number 3. As of right now, a little bit more side drafting, maybe a little bit of touching. You can't touch him there. But Sam Baldwell going to be right there in 2nd. Now they're going to go 3 wide. Here comes Chris Melton to the outside. They're going to be wrecking.
Oh, no, he still wins it.
Fred Anderson.
Sideways. Look at that.
What a finish that was. Sideways. Sam Boutwell still gets third. We're going to have to go look at that because that was one heck of a finish. And let's see it. Let's go to TV number 3. Is it going to give us a better view? Well, let's go to here. There they are coming out of turn number 4. Come on, switch cameras.
Yeah, it looks like Sam got a bad push there going into the tri-oval, and it turned him right down into Fred. How about that, though? Fred Anderson wins the race sideways across the line.
And there it is, right there. Barely. Look at the 11 headed towards the grass. I mean, that was so close of a finish. And we'll play it frame by frame. The 49-47, pretty much side by side. Got it by a fender. And what a way to finish here in the first session of tonight's clash.
Yeah, that was a good race there. Nice clean racing at the end, up until the last couple hundred feet there.
Well, locked in locked in is going to be, you got the 96, the 11, the 47, the 49, and the 94 all locked in. But let's take a look at those results of where everybody finished. And our finishing order is going to be presented by Allstate, one of those proud sponsors of the NOMA Truck Series. Fred Anderson is going to take home the win here, with Chris Melton finishing in second by about a fender over Sam Boutwell in third. Yeah, Dylan Pass going to be finishing in fourth. Don will get his pronunciation right the next race. In fifth, Mark Beverly is going to finish off in sixth. Jake Bustos in seventh. Eighth is going to be Derek Catt. Ninth is going to be Jesse Calloway. 10th is going to be Hoss Beverly. 11th is going to be Fred Anderson. 11th is going to be Jonathan Herbert. 12th is going to be John, how do you pronounce his last name? Scalino? Dang it, Joey. Evan Schillings is going to be 13th. Peter Dillon is going to be 14th. 15th is going to be James Wagner. 16th is going to be Kerry Klein. And 17th is going to be Jay Stinson, which he is in race control. All right, well, we do have another race coming up. That's going to be 40 laps. This session will end, and they're going to have about a 10-minute practice, and then we will still keep the stream live. We're going to transition over to the new lobby, and once again, we'll take that little bit of a break, grab us a drink, and get ready for the next session. So give us 1 minute or a couple minutes, and we'll be back.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step within the building, everybody's hands go up. And they say there, and they say there, and they say up, down, up, down, up, down. 'Cause all I do is win, 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 win. All I do is
All right, we got about 7 minutes until the final feature. That's going to be 40 laps here at Daytona. So, giving these drivers a little bit of time to get in here and get ready. It looks like we got a couple of returning drivers, a couple more returning drivers loading in to tonight's race. It looks like Kenneth Redinger, he is going to be loaded in. So we'll see if Sam. I don't know if Sam Boutwell is going to be returning, but we'll have to see how many drivers we have in the final heat. 40 laps will be coming your way in just a few moments, so don't go anywhere. Once again, you have time to take that bathroom break or grab that ice-cold beverage and get ready for some more Super Speedway racing right here on Southern Broadcasting Gaming Network. All right, less than 4 minutes to go for tonight's final feature for 40 laps here at Daytona. This is the Clash with the NOMA Truck Series, presented by Manny Rays. And I want to thank everybody that is out there tuning in to tonight's race. Thank you for joining us here at Southern Broadcast Gaming Network. Definitely got a few viewers out there in the chat. Miss Nancy always stopping by, showing us some love, showing these drivers some love. And we also got the Stevens Nation out there, which, Zach Stevens already out there on the track putting in some laps, along with Chase Greer and Kenneth Redinger are going to make it to tonight's final feature. All right, so we got Well, it's a stacked field tonight, and it looks like a lot of Chevrolets, not enough Fords, and only 2 Toyotas. And about 2 minutes left to go. While we're waiting on those 2 minutes to fly by, let's go ahead and take a look at tonight one of tonight's sponsors.
When I was a little boy, every summer we'd put up hay, throw hay on my family farm. And my job was to drag the bales into piles of 10 or 12 so the high school boys that helped us didn't have to chase them down one by one just to get them on a wagon. Made it a little more efficient. And it was a really small part of the operation, but they appreciated it. And it made me feel like part of their team. And I'll never forget how that felt. By the time I was about 10 or so, I became the driver, and my daddy's message was real clear. Throw it in 4-wheel drive and keep it between the fences, boy. And I fell in love with freedom. There's a unique feeling that comes with a job well done, a sweetness born from the sweat and the dirt that only comes from the sweat and the dirt. But the sweetest feeling was the ride home. Dusk, windows down, radio up, smell of fresh cut hay in the air, and a smile on my daddy's face. In this life, we all want belonging, authenticity, to feel important. We just want to feel like home.
All right, we want to appreciate all the sponsors that are on board with the Truck Series and the Super Speedway Series. Of course, we got Manny Reyes, we got the Blue Ridge Auto Group, we have Yulee trailers and power equipment, ABINGDON Collision and Towing. We have Crown Lift Trucks, and we have Flatwood Allstate, and we have M&M Rhino Linings of Bristol, Tennessee, and we got H&H Tractor Works. And we got the Electric Girls Funny Food Fridays. You can catch them on YouTube. All right, well, practice is all over. We're getting ready for those 40 laps here at Daytona Super Speedway. It looks like the Toyotas and Toyotas and Fords are going to be outnumbered by the Chevrolets, as we only have 1 Ford and 2 Chevrolets. But we got Kenneth Redinger out there. He's going to race these 40 laps. Matthew Fritts is going to race these 40 laps. And for Steven Nation out there, we have Zach Stevens going to be in his number 33 Chevrolet. Joey Hickok's going to be on the track also. And we are getting ready to line them up. And let's see the lineup for tonight's race. And it does not want to show me just yet. Come on, kick it over. One second, folks. Going from one lobby to the other did not restart the ATVO, but that's okay. It'll only take me a hot minute to get it back up and going. Once again, we appreciate y'all sticking around for the final feature, as we have 12 drivers that are going to be loaded in, and there is our first driver. Oh, they are doing a qualifying session as of right now. Sam Boutwell going to be out there on the track. Zach Stevens in that Moza number 33. Matthew Fritts in that Manny Reyes number 29. Also, M&M sponsor on the hood of that truck. Jay Stinson in that Rhino lining number 2. Changed the numbers on me. The 96 is going to return to the track. And there is Kenneth Redinger Old Grandstand Racing. So far, Sam Boutwell is going to hold the fastest time. He's going to have the pole for right now, but that is subject to change. Fred Anderson going to try to get him another great finish as he won the first heat. He won his first 20 laps, so let's see if he can do it once again. Chris Melton, he finished in second in his heat. But right now, riding around with Justin Parham. And there is that number 3 H&H Tractor Works Chevrolet, driven by no other than Joey Hickox. Right now, he is holding the third fastest time on the track, and it looks like Sam Boutwell may be able to hold the pole with a 51.076. And Jay Stinson going to be able to grab a... He's dropping as Matthew Fritts takes over that second spot. Let's see if we can throw this ticker back up here. And there it is. Justin Parham, 51.020. So right now he has the fastest lap with Joey Hickox finishing off his lap. So far holding in second. Dropping everybody else down the list. So with the amount of drivers that we do have, it should be pretty interesting. We might see those green flag pit stops. 40 laps can come and go pretty quick. But Kenneth Redinger, he is going to be able to grab that top spot with only 58 seconds left to go. There's still a couple of other drivers. Now Fred Anderson going to try to take it back over with a 50.975. So that's going to be the fastest lap on the track. So you got Venom Racing, you got the MNT Motorsports, you have Grandstand Racing, you got Asphalt Outlaws, and Moose Knuckle Motorsports out there on the track, and White Knuckle Motorsports. And once the season kicks off, they will be battling it for the team points. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how these teams stack up. As I do believe Venom was able to take over the team points last season. And here we go, getting ready to fire them up. It definitely got dark. It's going to be one of those night races. And let's take a look at the lineup. And you got Fred Anderson. He is going to start on the pole once again. The 96 is going to be starting on his outside. Matthew Fritts is going to be starting in third. You got Redinger. He is going to be starting in fourth. Row number 3 is looking like Justin Parham and Joey Hickox. Row number 4 is going to be Jay Stinson and Zach Stevens. Row number 5 is going to be Sam Boutwell and Mr. Chris Melton. Row number 6 is going to be Dylan Pass and Chase Greer. Row number 7 is going to be Jesse Calloway bringing up the rear of the field. All right, they are on pit road, ready to take that pace lap around and get to green flag racing for 40 laps. And once again, we want to appreciate everybody that's out there on the stream watching tonight's race. Don't forget, we do have the Roku channel. All you got to do is log on to your Roku app on your phone, download the Southern Broadcast Gaming Network channel, and it will upload to your Roku device. You can go in and watch past races, present races, and live races. And once again, that's Southern Broadcast Gaming Network on Roku. All right, pace truck should be rolling off any moment now. Fred Anderson going to bring him to the green flag. Fred Anderson. This is Richard up in the booth. You got a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Man, you had a nice finish. You finished sideways, but you were able to win that first heat of 20 laps, and now you find yourself right back on the pole out front. You know, tell us, what is it going to take here to win this 40-lap race here in the Clash at Daytona?
It's just gonna have to be in the front couple cars at the end. That's the most important thing.
Well, is fuel going to be an issue? Are we going to see those green flag pit stops? And what do you see your fuel mileage is going to be around?
Well, I'm guessing any place after 20 will stop and make it to the end.
Absolutely. Well, you did a great job in that first 20 laps. Let's see how you can do in these next 40. Good luck on the track, and congratulations on that win in the first heat.
Thank you. Enjoy the race.
Yes, sir. We definitely will. Y'all put on a great show. All right, that was our pole sitter Fred Anderson in that number 94, finished sideways and won the race in that first 20 laps. If you didn't see it, definitely got to go back and watch it, because that was one of the craziest finishes. And Chris Melton, he got him a pretty good finish also. And here we go out of turn number 3. Let's see if we can get that track map to work. And it may not work for me. I may have to restart SDK. The transitions between, sometimes it likes it, sometimes it don't. But it may pause for just a second. And we're green flag racing. And there is a track map. Good deal. They're going to cross over that start-finish line, and the 94 is going to have about a half a truck jump on the 96 on the outside. Kenneth Redding are going to give a nice shove to that outside lane and try to get it moving quick, fast, and in a hurry. Now, Kenneth Redinger is not used to being stuck in traffic. Excuse me one second. Not used to being stuck in traffic, and he finds himself right there in the 4th position. He's used to leading laps, controlling the field, and now he has got to get that 96 truck up to the front and try to get them to in that bottom lane. The bottom lane was dominant in the first heat. And now we find that same factor here as they come out of turn number 4. That bottom lane is formed up. You got about 5 trucks on the top lane, now about 6, as the 49 is going to join that top lane. 96, 24 nose to tail. You got the 94, 29, and 19 pretty much nose to tail. That is going to be Justin Parham in that little 3-car train right there on the back. And you also have Jay Stinson. He's going to be on that bottom lane also. He's going to be the fourth truck in that bottom lane. So he's just going to sit back and ride it out and try to save a little bit of fuel. He's got enough teammates out there that maybe one of these drivers can sneak out a win by going further in fuel mileage. We heard about right after about lap number 20. You will probably see those green flag pit stops if we do make it that far. But the 33 of Zach Stevens not really tucking up behind Joey Hickox in the second feature. He's pretty much just riding it out, and let's take a look at his onboard. As you know, he's on the gas, and now he's going to tuck up a little bit quicker. And Joey Hickox is going to have the fastest lap on the track of a 47.199. So that truck is flying around the track as he is caught up in. He is right there in a 2-car draft in front of him. Sam Boutwell going to be back here in traffic also. He's going to be the 5th car back on that bottom lane, and here they come into turn number 3. Lap number 3 is underway, headed for lap number 4. The 29 is going to stick his nose out in front of the 96, and the 96 is going to give him a shove coming out of turn number 4. And they hold it straight as they come through that tri-oval, headed for that start-finish line through the Geico restart zone. And that bottom line, that top line is starting to give a run for the lead. Matthew Fritts still holding on to that second position. Now Parham is going to give the 94 a nice shove coming into turn number 1 and out of turn number 2, headed for that backstretch as they tuck up even tighter going down that backstretch. 24, 96, and 29 up there on that top lane. And looks like the bottom lane is going to be able to prevail once again. 94 still sticking his nose out, and here comes Matthew Fritts to the outside. And looking for some of my cameras. There they are. And there they are crossing the start finish line as they have reached a lap number 5. Parham giving the 94 all he can handle through the tri-oval. Fred Anderson still going to be leading these laps. Chase Greer with a 46.758. And he is going to hold the fastest time on the track here so far. So I forgot to put the ticker up. And a lot of these drivers are being conservative very early. We're not going to see those aggressive moves until later on in the race. Now Matthew Fritts going to make a move to the inside. He's going to take over the bottom lane. Here comes the 96. He's going to try to pull a little side draft. He's going to get right there side by side coming out of turn number 4, headed for that tri-oval. And here he comes. The 96 may be able to lead this lap. 24 giving him all he can, and he did. He was able to take over that lead just for a moment, and now he is going to have the 29 right there back door to door and taking over the lead once again. Almost looking about 3 wide. Oh, the 96 is going to be in the wall. It looks like a bad push, and he's going to have a lot of damage done to that 96 truck. And we might have to rewind it just to see, since we're still under green flag racing. Looks like a push gone wrong. Let's see if we can get our handy dandy blimp cam or chopper cam. Here we go, chopper cam. And it looks like a push just gone wrong, right? Or did he? Oh, it looks like he came down the track, and yeah, that sent the 96 right up the track. A little bit of contact with the 29. I don't believe that was anybody's fault, but Redinger, he is going to be back out front. He is used to leading a lot of laps, and here he is in this truck trying to lead some more. The 29 going to fight right back. He has, looks like, Anderson right there behind. And let's choose this cam right here, see if we can get a better angle of this little battle. 4-car battle, 4 versus 4 on coming down the backstretch, headed for turn number 3. Now a couple of other trucks join in with the battle as Jay Stinson and Joey Hickox are going to join that bottom line, tucking it in a little bit tighter. And here comes Dylan Pass. He had a pretty good run in that last heat. And they're going to cross the Geico restart zone. A little bit of wobble from it looked like the 19. And the 24 is going to join that bottom line, opening the door for that number 8 machine, driven by Chase Greer. Matthew Fritts going to be working side by side with his teammate of Chase Greer. Chase Greer has Zach Stevens right there on his back bumper. Or vice versa. Can't remember which one I said. It's been a long day, folks. Been a long day. But we're going to ride on board with Zach Stevens. Here you can see Sam Boutwell giving him a nice little push, and this is coming out of turn number 4, headed for that tri-oval. Oh, a little bit of wiggle. There is the 96. He's going to be the first truck 1 lap down, hoping that caution comes out. He's going to catch the tail end of the draft, and Chase Greer right now is going to have the lead. One thing we did not do in our last session, as we have gone to lap number 9, headed for lap number 10, and Kenneth Redinger, going to be your leader as of right now, has Matthew Fritts, giving him all he can out of turn number 2. Looks like Zach Stevens had a little bit of issue coming out of turn number 2. He had a big wiggle. Sam Boutwell going to be right there behind him, and positions are changing as fast, quick, fast, and in a hurry, so it's hard to see where everybody is at before it changes. I love super speedway racing as they come out of turn number 4. Here comes Zach Stevens. He is going to lead. He is going to lead that top line and try to get around his team on that inside. It looks like he is going to be scored to lead that lap. 0.01 of a second separated those two, and now he's going to lead. Is he going to stay on that top lane? He doesn't have the room to get down to that bottom lane in front of his teammate Chase Greer, and they are going to nose themselves out back to the lead. But here comes Stevens once again. Sam Boutwell putting that forward right along the back bumper of that Chevrolet driven by Zach Stevens. And they had the lead. They had the line leading. But Chase Greer going to be right back out in front. Lap number 10 is almost complete. We are headed for lap number 11. And you know what? We can go ahead and say it is safe to go ahead and crank it up. All right, still double file. Looks like the high line is going to fall apart just a little bit. And Zach Stevens still trying to make something happen. He's still got Sam Boutwell right there on the back bumper along with Joey Hickox. Joey Hickox is going to be down one position from where he started this race. But so far, the biggest mover of the race is going to be Chase Greer. He is going to be up 10 spots from where he started this thing in that Yuli's Trailers and Equipment's Chevrolet. Now the 33 going to nose himself out. Still has Sam Boutwell. He's peeking out to the outside, trying to get a little bit of air to that truck. Oh no, Joey Hickox is playing peekaboo with the camera. He blinks right back in. And here comes Zach Stevens right back to the lead as they cross the start-finish line. It looks like Stevens is going to be able to lead another lap. Coming in to turn number 3, it is going to be turn number 1. It is going to be side by side for the 8 and the 33, 47 and the 24 going to be side by side for that second position. And now the high line is starting to form up with about a four truck draft. In that high line, Chris Melton is going to be all the way back here, pretty much drafting with the 96, trying to save a little bit of fuel. Don't know how many teammates he has out here on the track. Now he's gonna dive into the outside, but side by side racing here at lap number 14. Now we heard about 20 laps to a tank of fuel, so a lot of these drivers are going to get themselves in position, so when it's time to go into the pits, they are definitely going to do it. Now we got a little bit of 3 wide action as Sam Boutwell was stuck on that outside. He's going to drop to the back of this four truck train on that high line. And here comes Dylan Pass. He's gonna try to pull a little bit of draft from Sam Boutwell and work his way up and give that high line a little bit of help. 96 is going to be still 1 lap down. He's waiting for a caution to come out so he can get that lap back. He had a little bit of trouble getting into the wall, maybe due to a little bit of net code. Not exactly sure. I am not race control, but we'll have to see how all that plays out. And the 11 tucking in very closely to the back bumper of that 96. That 96 got a little bit loose. I don't know if there was any contact there, but he dropped down to the apron, and that truck was definitely a little bit out of shape when he dropped down to the apron. Melton trying to do the best he can. He's going to tuck in right there behind Dylan Pass, trying to make a move on the 96. And Chase Greer going to be still out front leading this race. Still up 11 positions. Now he's going to drop down to 10 positions from where he started as they are still battling back and forth. Joey Hickox going to be side by side with Kenneth Redinger. Matthew Fritts has Jay Stinson to his outside. And Sam Boutwell going to be 4th in line on that top side with the 94 of Fred Anderson in 8th. Not a bad race here so far. Lap number 17 is underway, and we're almost about halfway over. And once again, we appreciate everybody that has joined us out there on the stream watching tonight's race. It has definitely been the first feature was definitely not disappointing. The second feature, it looks like is going to be the same way as we are coming to lap number 18 as they enter in turn number 3, looking for that exit to turn number 4. Should see green flag pit stops happen probably within the next, I'm going to say 5 to 6 laps or so. As a lot of these drivers were back here saving fuel, not really challenging for that lead. Zach Stevens losing a little bit of ground. He's going to drop back down to 3rd as Kenneth Redinger. He might be looking to that outside if he can get that 3rd. If he can clear the 33, we might see him slide up the track. 29 is going to tuck up right underneath the 24. And try to give him a shove, and that shove is going to go right to Chase Greer, bumper to bumper, as they come down the backstretch into turn number 3. Joey Hickox still having a little bit of internet connection as he blinked out and blinked right back in, right there in front of his teammate of Jay Stinson. And I know they're probably communicating that. If it does persist, it is going to be he will probably see him drop back to the back, but it looks like he's got it all figured out as of right now. And it looks like everybody's pretty much at a stalemate. It is just one big pack of trucks racing. 3 trying to get a little bit of side draft from the 29. No advancement, trying to slow that bottom line down. Coming out of turn number 2, they're going to have a little bit of a run side by side once again for the lead as Zach Stevens noses his truck out to the lead. Chase Greer going to be right there, taking back over the lead as they come into turn number 3. Side by side for the 24 and 33. 29 and 3, side by side. 94 and 2 are going to be side by side. Now coming to lap number 20, crossing that Geico restart zone, headed for the start-finish line. Looks like the 33 is going to fall back about a truck length. Chase Greer can get up there to the top if he wanted it to, but he is going to keep that bottom line at bay. They do not want to see Kenneth Redinger get up to the front and lead this thing and have a potential chance to win. Coming down the back stretch, it is pretty much still, positions are changing just back and forth. Not really falling, these trucks are not really falling back. That draft is definitely dependent. And now out of turn number 4. Lap number 21 is about to be underway. We should see those green flag pit stops happening very shortly. Joey Hickok still kind of having a little bit of connection issue. Jay Stinson backed up off the back bumper of the number 3. When he's blinking out, there he goes again. Oh no. Dylan Pass and Chris Melton, they've been hanging out here at the back. So it's a wonder of how far they can actually go while they're back here hanging out. It's definitely going to be interesting to see as Chris Melton, he is going to tuck it up behind the 96, and he has been back here all night, pretty much since the race started. He's going to be down 1 position from where he started. He started in 10th, and right now he's right around the 11th. The 96 is going to be your first truck 1 lap down. He's looking for that caution to come out so he can get back on the lead lap. And Zach Stevens falling back to the 3rd position. Still has Joey Hickox right there behind with the connection issue. They have not been able to advance. And there is the side-by-side battle for that 5th position. Fred Anderson going to nose his truck out to the 5th position. Joey Hickox trying to get back to the back bumper of the 33. Coming out of turn number 4. Zach Stevens has fallen all the way back to 4th. Matthew Fritts is now going to be taking over the third position. People are starting to line, these drivers are starting to line up on that low line to try to get in position for those green flag pit stops. Lap number 23 underway. Zach Stevens falling all the way back, looking for an opening so he can get down to the bottom lane. And does he have it? No, Dylan Pass not gonna allow him to get in. Chase Greer gonna still be out front. Now, being out front leading this race, you're not gonna be able to go as far as the guy behind you because he's got a little bit of draft. And here we go. Venom Racing is gonna dive it off, and everybody else also. Got to get that truck slowed down to 60 miles an hour. Chase Greer going to bring it in hot and heavy. Matthew Fritz going to get his truck slowed down. You got Fred Anderson. He is going to be side by side, along with the 1133, 3 and 49. Jay Stinson is going to be in, and the 96. Kenneth Redinger, Justin Parham, and Sam Boutwell, they're going to be out here running nose to tail. That's going to be your grandstand racing team. They do a fine job at communication, but sometimes can get chaotic on pit road, especially if your brake bias is a little bit higher than somebody else's. And let's see how long they stay out. And here comes Grandstand Racing. Justin Parham going to lead them in along with Kenneth Redinger. Oh, got to get it slowed down. Woo. Don't know if he was able to make it down to pit road speed, but I do believe he did. Sam Boutwell going to be right there in 3rd. Dylan Pass going to be out here on the track. Fred Anderson going to come out of pit road, and Dylan Pass is going to be a sitting duck. He's all by himself right now. He is about 2 seconds, now 3, and falling very quickly as the rest of the pack is starting to catch him coming out of turn number 4. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but I saw that truck wiggling just a little bit. And they got to do whatever they can to catch Sam Boutwell, Kenneth Redinger, and Justin Parham as they are still coming in. They are still in the middle of 1 and 2, and now on the exit of 2, they got to get lined up because here comes the rest of the pack. Here comes Dylan Pass. Here comes the 96, and here comes everybody else. Now they're going to make a run to the outside. Matthew Fritts up to speed, and they're going to leave Sam Boutwell in the dust as Sam Boutwell was able to make it out in front of the 24 of Kenneth Redinger. Fuel only for a lot of these trucks with 15 laps to go when they hit the line. And we got a little bit of a breakaway, but it's not enough. It's not enough trucks to actually get enough distance so the rest of the field can't catch up. Only about 0.6 of a second separate Boutwell from Melton. Melton going to be the last. Melton is going to be the last truck in the 6-car pack. He's going to be on the bottom lane. He's got the 94 to the outside, and here comes Boutwell. He's got enough trucks. He's got the draft. He's got he's got Kenneth Redinger right there behind him, along with Dylan Pass and Justin Parham. Not too far back also. Grandstand Racing is going to be lined up from 7th on back to 9th. Coming to 14 laps to go. We've seen the green flag pit stops. We have not seen the caution. And now 14 laps to go, and it looks like somebody is going to be put a lap down, and that is going to be Chase Greer. Don't know exactly what happened, but he's going to be 50 laps behind, so he's going to have to stay, or 50 seconds behind. He's going to have to stay in front of the 96 as the 96 pitted with everybody else, so he's going to be good on fuel, and it looks like they are going to be battling it out for the lucky dog spot. Looks like Chase Greer is going to fall back to 12th. You got the 96. He's going to be right there in 11th. Those two are going to be battling it out for a position for the lucky dog. Now 3, 2 are going to be lined up nose to tail. You got the 29 and 33 nose to tail on the bottom lane. You have the 49 right there in tow. That third truck back, you have the 94 in tow. Third truck back on the high line. It is still one big pack as this pack has not been able to separate even after green flag pit stops. Looking to be a little bit of 3 wide as Grandstand Racing, Kenneth Redinger. He is going to be looking to that third lane, and he is going to have a run with Justin Parham, and they're going to have a little bit of help with Chase Greer. Chase Greer not for position, but he is fighting for that lucky dog, and right now he's going to be in front of the 96, and here they come into turn number 3 wide with 13 laps to go, bringing it to 12. Everybody holding their line with the 24 and the 19 up there on the top side. The 3, the 2, and the 94 on the inside. Chase Greer trying to keep in a line on that high line. And what a race with 12 laps to go. This is when they turn the heat up. Oh, a little bit of wiggle from the 3. Almost catastrophic. Great save from the number 3, Joey Hickox. Joey Hickox now going to be out to the lead in that middle lane. The 96 is going to join the top lane, and it's going to be still 3 wide racing as they come down the backstretch. Kenneth Redinger giving a fight on that high side. Now Joey Hickox and Jay Stinson going to dive it down to the bottom, and here comes the 94. 94 is going to give the 2 a nice shove, and here comes Chase Greer still in the middle. He's trying to get his lap back the hard way. If the caution does come out, he will have the lucky dog, and he will get back on the lead lap to fight for some positions. Oh, a little bit of contact between the 8 and the 24. Didn't slow him down any. 96 is going to try to force his way through there, and he is going to be able to make it. And what's the 24 going to do? Is he going to stay up high, or is he going to tuck it in behind the 96? And Chase Greer able to get his lap back the hard way along with Chris Melton. He is going to be tucked in right behind the 8. Using the lap car for a draft car. Pretty smart move on that high line. Using a little bit of side draft by, oh my goodness, Jay Stinson going to be out of shape. He's going to bring it back on the track. He's still going to have the speed. Now with the 33 being right there, he's not going to lose the draft if the 33 backs it up just a little bit. Jay Stinson is still in this race. I do believe he still has the draft. Only 0.6 of a second separate Stevens from Stinson, so he should have the draft. But they are still shuffling up here towards the front. 24 is going to take over the lead, along with Justin Parham in tow. You got the 3. He's going to be right there behind the 8 of Chase Greer. And Jay Stinson still in this race after an amazing save. He kept the momentum, and now he is caught up to Matthew Fritts. 10 laps to go. Now 9. Redinger, Parham, all nose to tail. Here comes Chris Melton. He's looking for a win here in tonight's clash. The 96 is going to be right there behind. He is going to be the first car 1 lap down. Chase Greer falling back to the 12th position. Let's zoom out just a little bit. Chris Melton going to be your leader right now and still has the 96, giving him everything he has, even coming through the corners. They are pretty much going to be double file racing, coming to 8 to go into tonight's race. We have not seen that first caution, but we've seen the first caution come out with 5 to go in the first heat. Will we see it again? A lot of drivers trying to get their first win, even if it's in the clash. Oh, maybe a little bit of contact with the 19. Trying to pinch that bottom lane down. If that truck wiggles on the bottom lane, you could be in trouble. And here they come, looking for a little bit of 3 wide action. The 47 going to be all the way on the outside. Here comes the 33. He's gonna pardon himself right through the middle, along with Matthew Fritts. And here comes Jay Stinson once again, leaving Sam Boutwell out to dry. They have him clear, and here comes Zach Stevens to the outside. 7 laps to go at the line, and here comes Jay Stinson. He is going to try to work his way around the 96, which is going to be the first truck 1 lap down. And are they going to be able to get there and at least get up to Chris Melton in that 3rd position? I don't exactly know. There's a little bit of gap, as that high line has not really formed the greatest. Let's take a look from the spotter's view. And here comes that high line. Zach Stevens all the way up to the lead, with Chris Melton trying to make that middle line really make some ground up. Now he's going to have the lead. He's going to have just a little bit of an advantage in that middle lane. They're going to be banging as they come out of turn number 4. Oh, Joey Hickok's getting really close to Justin Parham. And it looks like Chris Melton is going to be able to, I don't believe he led that lap. It was so close coming across the start-finish line, but Zach Stevens going to be able to get his truck out about a half a truck in front of Chris Melton in that middle lane. 96, oh, a little bit of a stack up. Oh, my goodness. Sam Boutwell almost bit the dust, as they are still 3 wide. The 33 going the wrong direction. They got to be careful of not overheating these trucks, staying in line. Oh, my goodness. Chris Melton going to be upside down. He's going to be flipping. And that's going to bring our first caution out with 6 to go. And we're going to have to go back and take a look, because, wow, 49 was up on his lid. There's the contact. A little bit of contact with the 24. That's going to be a fast repair worthy. And the 19 just gives him a heck of a shove in the door, and it turns that truck right on over. And luckily, he landed it back on all 4 wheels. He's going to be able to get that truck back to pit road and utilize that fast repair and be back out there. Now the person that really had the most advantage from that is going to be the 96. He was able to get his lap back with Chase Greer going to be the second. He's going to be the lucky dog candidate next time if we see that caution. We still have 2 green-white checkers if we need them. But we'll probably go back to green with 2 laps to go, and we're going to see a couple of these drivers come down pit road for their service. They're probably not going to take the 4 fresh field goods, because Daytona does not really eat them up. They're going to want a quick, fast, and in a hurry pit stop. So Probably just a little bit of fuel, fast repair, and get back in there on the track. But while we are under caution, let's go ahead and take a look at one of tonight's race sponsors.
When I was a little boy, every summer we'd put up hay, throw hay on my family farm. And my job was to drag the bales into piles of 10 or 12 so the high school boys that helped us didn't have to chase them down one by one just to get them on the wagon. Made it a little more efficient. And it was a really small part of the operation, but they appreciated it. And it made me feel like part of their team, and I'll never forget how that felt. By the time I was about 10 or so, I became the driver, and my daddy's message was real clear. Throw it in four-wheel drive and keep it between the fences, boy. And I fell in love with the freedom. There's a unique feeling that comes with a job well done, a sweetness born from the sweat and the dirt that only comes from the sweat and the dirt. But the sweetest feeling was the ride home. Dusk, windows down, radio up, smell of fresh cut hay in the air, and a smile on my daddy's face. In this life, we all want belonging, authenticity, to feel important. We just want to feel like home.
Well, yes, sir, Mark. That is definitely... This is done good racing. Yes, it is definitely good racing. I hate to see the 49 up on his lid, but it definitely made it interesting how the air and that push just picked that truck up and flipped it over. Don't say that. But we should be getting double file once again. It looks like all these trucks are... It looks like Chase Greer actually got the lucky dog. He is going to be back on the lead lap. Still got the 96, the first car one lap down. He's looking for another caution to come out. 96 is going to bring his truck down pit road. We should be getting double file this time with 3 laps to go. And we'll be going green with 2. Zach Stevens going to be out there in front. Going to have Jay Stinson on the outside. They do have the radio communication, so they can try to control the line as best they can. Matthew Fritts going to be starting in 3rd. You got Sam Powell in 4th. Joey Hickok's going to be restarting in 5th. You got Fred Anderson, our last heat winner. He is going to be restarting in 6th. Justin Parham going to be starting back here in the back, towards the back in 7th. Chris Melton, after that brutal flip, he is going to be back here in 8th. Dylan Pass in 9th. Kenneth Redinger in 10th. Chase Greer going to be bringing up the tail end of the field in 11th. 12th is going to be the number 96. Sam Boutwell is the only Ford on the track, and he has got his Ford up here in the top 5. Everybody having fun out there in the chat. But I do want to say I appreciate each and every one of y'all for stopping by, joining me over here at the Southern Broadcasting Gaming Network for the NOMA Truck Series. We will be back Monday for the NOMA Super Speedway Series. They are getting back to green flag racing on Monday. So can't wait to see that start up. And let's get ready to go back green flag racing as they enter into turn number 3. All right. Yeah, Mark Stevens out there crossing his fingers. Here we go. Coming to the Geico restart zone. Zach Stevens has control. And we should be green flag racing. And what a jump for the outside line as Jay Stinson is going to take the outside with the momentum. Zach Stevens is going to be falling back to the second position as he has Matthew Fritts right there behind him in that number 29. And look at Look at Jay Stinson automatically jumping down to that bottom lane. He does have a line full of teammates, leaving Sam Boutwell out to dry. But Sam Boutwell has a Fred Anderson right there behind him, and that number 94, he crossed the start-finish line sideways and won this thing. But don't count out that number 49. He is one of the 2 Toyotas in this race. He's going to be that 3rd truck. Oh, my goodness, Sam Boutwell. Going to be, oh, my God, look at Zach Stevens. He is going to be upside down, inside out. And I bet he knows what it's all about. Wow, parts flying everywhere. We're going to be back under caution. We do have 2 green and white checker finishes that we can use. But, and it looks like Zach Stevens automatically had to tow. We're going to have to go back and take a look and find out exactly what happened there. And it looks like a bad push from the 94 to the 47. 47 is going to come down the track. Zach Stevens is going to take a brutal hit to the outside wall. He's going to be up on top of the 94. And he is going to take a wild ride in that turn. 11's going to get a piece of the pie, and Chase Greer, he's going to get his truck slowed down. But you know what? Let's go ahead and take one more look at this, and we're going to ride on board with Zach Stevens. And he had never knew it was coming. And whammo. Upside down, inside out. Got put on spin cycle like yesterday's laundry. And what a wild ride that was. And you know what? Let's play that full speed. If you're in VR, this could be a wild ride. And I do believe it blew the engine with contact, because he had to pretty much automatically tow. And one more time let's go with the 47 of Sam Boutwell. And he just comes down the track. Zach Stevens, nowhere to go. Innocent bystander in and all. Sam Boutwell did a great job of saving it. A bad push from the truck behind just got him out of shape. Mark Stevens, you can't say that. But a violent hit for the 33, and that may have retired him. He probably had that fast repair left, but he's going to go multiple laps down due to having the tow, and that takes so long, especially around Daytona. And you can go up to 2 laps down. But the good news is, the 96 back on the lead lap. He was able to get the lucky dog, and we will see him battling it back for those positions. He got into the wall a little bit earlier on, elected to stay out. His truck was a little bit slower, and he went a lap down. Had to battle it out with Chase Greer. And Chase Greer was able to get the lucky dog on the last caution, so he got the lucky dog this caution, and we'll see how he finishes. But the 94 might get the EOL, not exactly sure of how that's going to play out. Sam Boutwell elected to stay out during that caution. He didn't have enough damage to really even worry about. But our biggest movers of the race is going to be Jay Stinson, going to be up six positions. You got Sam Boutwell going to be up 6. You got Chris Melton going to be up 6 after he took a wild upside down ride. And Chase Greer also going to be up 6. Second biggest mover is going to be Dylan Pass. He's going to be up 4. He's going to be restarting in 7th. And that's going to be your biggest movers that are tied for the biggest mover. My back hurts from that one. And looks like He's back out there on the track. He had that fast repair. He got the tow. He's only 1 lap down. So if we see another caution, he can get back on the lead lap. But as long as he's not involved, he will be able to get back up there and battle for some positions if he can get back on the lead lap. So it's not over, and it's not over until it's over. He's got a few more laps. If we get another green and white checkered, he'll be back on the lead lap. That's pretty funny, Mark. All right, double file once again. Matthew Fritts and Jay Stinson both going to be on the front row. You have Sam Boutwell and Chris Melton going to be on the second row. Kenneth Rediger and Chase Greer on that third row. Dylan Pass and Joey Hickox on the fourth. Fred Anderson and the 96 Don. I'm not going to butcher his name. Don is going to be in row number 5. All right. Pace truck entering in or exiting out of turn number 4. He's going to dive off the track, and we're going to get back to green flag racing once again. All right, Geico restart zone. Jay has the control, and we are green flag racing. Matthew Fritts not getting the best restart as Jay Stinson works himself out about a half a truck out in front of that top line. Now, Chris Melton not really tucking in behind Matthew Fritts, so that bottom line is going to be able to prevail, and we might see some 3-wide racing trying to get around that 29 as the 29 does not have any help. Not from any teammates except, well, he does, but it's going to be Chase Greer. He's going to have a truck right there in between. And here they come down the backstretch for 47 of Sam Boutwell. Is going to give Jay Stinson everything he can handle coming down that backstretch. But here comes Matthew Fritts to the outside. Matthew Fritts to the lead with the 49 of Chris Melton right there coming into turn number 3. Oh, bad push. Matthew Fritts saves it. And Chris Melton, they are going to take the white flag. Oh, no. Everybody's going to be wrecking. Caution is going to be out. Wow. Chase Greer going for a wild ride here tonight. This is the third flip we have seen just before the start-finish line. Wow. Just before the start-finish line, they wrecked. All right, let's go take it back and take a look. And that's the wrong caution. I need the other caution. There it is. Yellow flag flew just before the caution. There is the bump from the bottom line to the 49. 49 going to tag the 2. 2 is going to tag the 49 back. And watch Chase Greer. He is going to go for a wild ride also. It's going to lift his all 4 tires up off the track. And he's going to also be upside down, inside out. And he might not know what it's all about. That happened so fast. But he did land it on all 4s. Couple trucks had to tow. But let's go take a look at that one more time from the 8's cockpit view. There you see he sees it coming. He's trying to get that truck slowed down. And here he goes. It's amazing the air effects from this simulator as it picked him up and just tossed him around like a rag doll. Poor fans are going to get a bumper in the grandstands. But let's play that one more time in real time. Once again, if you are in VR, that is a wild ride even in VR. All right, quite a few trucks had to come down pit road. It looks like Matthew Fritts, he is going to be down pit road. Kenneth Rediger is going to be down pit road. Zach Stevens still out there on the track, and it looks like he is going to be back on the... Wow, I'm dizzy. He's going to be back on the lead lap. He was able to keep keep it out of trouble. So he's going to be back on the lead lap and be able to race for some positions. Joey Hickok is going to be out front leading this thing, and it looks like he may have a little bit of damage. And let's see if we can look at that truck. Yeah, that front end may be a little bit messed up. Dylan Pass is going to be the next truck in line. It looks like he's going to have a clean nose. 96, he's got a little bit of damage on his left front. Fred Anderson is going to be looking really good with his clean truck. As long as the air affects the two trucks in front of him, he can be having a good finish here. Jay Stinson, he is going to be back out on the track along with Chase Greer, using that fast repair. Matthew Fritts, Kenneth Redinger coming out. All right, we'll try it one more time. And if they wreck this time, it is all over. All right, double file once again. Hopefully the other trucks are catching up, because we only have, six trucks right here up at the front. But it does look like Redinger and Stevens, Fritz, they are all catching up to the tail end of the field. Sam Boutwell going to be 2 laps down. Melton's going to be 2 laps down. And Parham still in the pits. It has been some exciting racing for the last 40 laps. This will be their final attempt. And once again, we want to appreciate everybody that stopped by and joined us here for tonight's clash. It has definitely been fun. It's definitely been interesting, as we've seen trucks upside down quite a few times. And Joey Hickok's going to be able to bring him to the Geico restart zone for the restart. He's going to have the control of the restart. And he's got Fred Anderson right there behind. Or excuse me, the 96 is going to be right there behind. Now these two trucks do have a little bit of damage running nose to tail. Maybe it won't affect their trucks very much. Dylan Pass going to be on the outside. He does have a clean truck. 94 going to be tucked up. He has a clean truck, and so does Chase Greer. So we might see this outside line prevail with 2 damaged trucks. But I could be wrong. The aerodynamics could still be okay. And let's get to green flag racing. Joey Hickok's bringing them to the green flag. And the outside lane is only going to have about 3 trucks. They're going to try to make everything they can happen. They got to get tucked up in line quick, fast, and in a hurry. They've already made it back up to the second position. And it looks like Dylan Pass, he is going to go for the lead coming into turn number 1. And out of turn number 2, they're going to be side by side for the lead. Yeah, I definitely am. It's a new name. And Dylan Pass going to be able to try to control the whole field, as he was able to take over the lead from Joey Hickok's. But here, don't look now, but here comes Chase Greer. He's going to be up to second. He's going to have the 94 right there side by side. Here comes Zach Stevens in that 33. He was upside down not too long ago, and now they are battling side by side. Joey Hickok's is going to be a little bit out of shape, and they are going to be trying to take the white flag this time. They grabbed it, 1 to go. And this is going to be the final lap. Who is going to win this race as Dylan Pass and Chase Greer? Chase Greer is going to have the lead as of right now. It's only a matter of time before we probably see that third line. You got Kenneth Redinger. He's going to be back there, maybe in a good position to pick up a few trucks. And oh my goodness, Dylan Pass is going to be out of shape. He's going to be holding second. Now he's going to drop back down to third. Everybody gave him a little bit of room to get back up on the track. And here comes Zach Stevens for pushing Chase Greer into turn number 3. Oh, Kenneth Redinger going to be out of shape. Bye-bye, 94. And it's going to be a 3-truck battle to the line as here comes Zach Stevens side by side. Here comes Dylan Pass, and they're going to finish 3 wide at the start-finish line. Wow, Zach Stevens may have just grabbed that at the last millisecond. We are going to have to go back and check that out. That was crazy. As they were coming out of turn number 4, watch Dylan Pass. He's going to drop down to the apron. All kinds of chaos happening behind. And let's see if we can grab the best view. Oh, that's not going to be the best view. And let's stop it right. Ping-ponging between Dylan Pass right there. Look how close of a finish between the top 3. Dylan Pass going to get 3rd. You got Chase Greer in 2nd. Zach Stevens going to barely nose his truck out and take the win at the last second. Now let's go back and see what happened to Fred Anderson as he was backwards on the track. And this was Kenneth Redinger going to be right there in the middle trying to make something happen on that inside lane. It looks like possibly a little bit of net code. No, there was actually contact. It looks like the 94 slid up just a little bit into the 24. 24 takes it right up the track. Outside line almost saved it. But 29 and the 2 are going to get the bad end of that deal. 96 dropping it down to the apron. And then we come back for this finish right here. Watch the 11. He's going to drop down to the apron. Eight is ping-ponging between the 33 and the 11. And there's the final pass right there. Great finish. Great way to end the race. 3 wide. And, you know, we're going to go back live. We're going to go try to catch up with our podium finishers. Mr. Dylan Pass, this is Richard up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Man, what an amazing finish, man. You finished 3rd. You dropped down to the apron. You had the 8 ping-ponging off of you, but you were able to still grab a 3rd-place finish. Man, that was a very close finish. Looks like 1/100th of a second, you know, separated you from 2nd place, or excuse me, 1/100th of a second separated you from the leader of the race of Zach Stevens. Man, talk to us a little bit about your race. How do you think that went?
Yeah, I mean, that was an awesome race right there with those guys. I mean, NOMA puts on such good races here, so I'd like to thank them for putting on this race. Now, I was in actually the last chance qualifier. I raced my way in. I was 4th in that, and I can't come in here, and I'm like, whatever happens, happens now. I'm just going to kind of go for it. So, the last lap coming down to it, I got a huge push coming out of turn 2 from the 94, I believe, and it kind of got me sideways and pushed me up the track into the 8, so sorry for that. Then I came on the track, and I was just like, whatever happens now, it's just going to happen. I mean, I'm just going for $25 in this clash. So then at the end there, I pulled out and made a 3-wide move. I know there's a double, I think there's a double yellow line rule in this league. I know iRacing doesn't enforce it, and I know NASCAR enforces it, obviously. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to go below the line. Sorry for cussing there, but I'm just going to go below the line and see what happens. If I get the win and they give it to me, that's awesome. If they disqualify me or put me at the back, whatever, I don't care. I'm just going for it here now. So, yeah, that was awesome. I'd like to thank my sponsors on board, Paradise Island Contracting and Shipwreck Saloon. Go check them out if you're in the Port Charlotte area. Yeah, that was just amazing racing by those guys. I mean, just absolutely amazing. I'd like to thank all those guys for keeping it clean there and not wrecking me on the backstretch. So, yeah, thanks for that.
Absolutely, man. What a great race it was, especially for being the opener, the opening clash for the NOMA Truck Series. Man, you put on one heck of a race. Can't wait to see what you can do in the rest of the season.
Yeah. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate it. You broadcasting tonight.
Not a problem. We'll go celebrate. And, man, we'll catch you next time. Appreciate you stopping in and talking with us. And once again, congratulations.
Yep, no problem. Take care, you guys.
All right, that was Mr. Dylan Pass. Third place finish here at the Daytona Clash. All right, we're going to catch up with Mr. Chase Greer. He finished second, ping-ponging off of the 11 and the 33, but still managed to bring home that second place finish. All right, Mr. Chase Greer, this is Richard up in the booth. You got a copy.
Gotcha. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, doing pretty good, man. You ran a really good race, man. We seen your truck upside down at one point in the race, and now you got your lap back and you finish on the podium, man. Talk to us a little bit about your race. How was that ride when it was pretty much twisting and turning you?
It was good. I mean, I led the beginning part of the race, and then I was an idiot and sped on pit road. Went down a lap. I got a little crazy, so I backed out, and luckily got the lucky dog there. And then, I mean, caused a bunch of accidents. Sorry for everybody. I think I hit Justin in one, and then that one I was trying to follow the guy in front of me, so I touched Sam. But other than that, good race. Sorry for everybody I wrecked, but should be. At least it wasn't a points race. That's all it meant.
Yeah, that's definitely all that matters. It was definitely, it looked like it was a very fun race. You were 9 1,000ths of a second from Zach Stevens for that win. 3 wide battle, coming across the start finish line. Man, that had your adrenaline pumping.
Yeah, I thought I had it because I saw Dylan stay down, and I was like, "Oh, sweet, I'm gonna win this." So then he went below the yellow line, which I think in regular season would be bad, but here I got it. And I was just like, "All right, well, I guess I'm not gonna win." And then I was just trying to hold on to. I mean, I was still trying, but I didn't have the momentum they did, so I knew I was a sit and go to that point.
Ping-ponging off the 11, ping-ponging off the 33, but still held second place coming across the finish. Man, what a great race. Man, you know what comes with those podium finishes. You're no stranger to them. Yeah, I'm going to hand the mic over to you.
All right, shout out to mother-in-law. I know she's watching. Good job, Zach. Zach's family, I know they're always watching too, so hopefully this is a good start to the rest of the season. Thank you for broadcasting NOMA for everything they do, and ready for the good season. You have a good night.
You too. All right, that was Mr. Chase Greer, our second place finisher, also our biggest mover of the race. Well, it's time where we bring up the race winner, and that is going to be Mr. Zach Stevens. Zach, this is Richard up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, man.
Man, how about that finish there? You went from flipping during the race, and you went a lap down, got your lap back, and now you win the race. Man, talk to us a little bit about that. Man, that 33 was smoking.
Yeah, it's just Daytona for you, man. Honestly, when I had to tow, I thought I was out of it, but I came out the pits, and I was only a lap down, and I knew we still had like 4 green, white checkers left, so I was like, maybe I can get lucky and get my lap back, and I was lucky enough it happened, and I got hooked up there with Chase on that restart, and I was honestly just pushing him clear. And coming out of 3 and 4, I saw that I had some room, so I was like, I got to go for it. So I went to the outside, and I thought Dylan was staying low with him, and I was like, well, there goes that. But Dylan actually went low below the yellow line, tried to pass him, but it was just a drag race at that point. But yeah, super happy to get this win. I think this is my first win in the trucks here at NOMA, so really happy about that. Wish it was points race, but either way, I'm super happy about that, and I think the team, as usual, we all worked really good together today, and pit stops were pretty good. I know Chase sped a little bit on his, but other than that, I think we got in and out pretty well, and we all worked well together tonight.
So this was the first time we've actually seen, crashes happen where trucks were flipping on the front stretch and back stretch, and yours happened to be one of them. Do you race in VR?
I don't know. I've tried it. I've tried it a couple times, but it's just not for me.
Man, that would have been a wild ride in VR, but
Yeah, Probably. But yeah, my truck, my engine blew as soon as I hit the wall, so I thought I was done for, honestly.
Well, we're glad that you were able to get back on the lead lap and finish this thing strong. Let's see, 9/1000ths of a second separated you from Greer, and looks like 1/100th of a second from Dylan Pass. Man, that was crazy. Or excuse me, 9/10ths
Yeah,
of a second.
yeah, it was a wild race. I mean, that's just Daytona though. They're always crazy. You never know what's gonna happen, especially with 5 green white checkers. I'm surprised we didn't use all of them. Most of the time, you'll go through all of them, but it was a good race. Was up front most of the race, and just happy to get a win in the trucks. I went all season without getting a win in the trucks last year, and made it to the Final Four. But I really wanted to win. I know this is just a clash, but it still feels good.
Absolutely. Well, you know what comes with those podium finishes. Man, you can grab all the shout-outs that you would like to give because you definitely earned them here tonight at the Clash.
Yeah, got a new sponsor this season, Moza. They're an affiliate with the league now. We'll have to get the link to you to put on the broadcast along with the videos starting Monday, hopefully. But yeah, Moza Racing, they got good products and everything, and they're more affordable than some of the other stuff out there. Crown Lift Trucks is going to be on the truck as well this season, just like last season. I just want to thank Venom Racing and Jay and Joy for putting on the league. And I know you're coming on to broadcast both leagues this season, so looking forward to that. You always do a good job. And my uncles and my dad for watching as well.
Oh, yeah, you know they're out there in the chat.
Oh, yeah. I saw Mark commenting on the whole race. So.
Yeah. But all right, man. Well, congratulations once again, and we'll let you get down there to celebrate with the rest of the team. And, man, we can't wait to see what you can do in the rest of the season.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. All right, all right. Well, let's take a look at the final race results, and that is going to be presented by Allstate, one of those proud sponsors of the NOMA Truck Series. Well, Zach Stevens is going to take home the win along with Chase Greer right there in second. He's got Dylan Pass right there in third. Joey Hickok's in fourth. Kenneth Redinger in fifth. Don is going to be in sixth. Seventh is going to be Mr. Matthew Fritts. Fred Anderson is going to be in 8th. Jay Stinson in 9th. Sam Boutwell in 10th. 11th is going to be Christopher Melton. Justin Parham in 12th. And 13th is going to be Jesse Calloway. And Jonathan Herbert is going to be in 14th. Well, that's going to be the lineup for the evening. We'll get it to the burnout. You definitely didn't miss the burnout. It was in slow-mo. But what a great race it was. Definitely a great way to start off the season. Zach Stevens grabbing that win. And here is where he's going to be able to do his victory burnout. There's that Moza Racing number 33 doing that burnout. But we hope y'all enjoyed the broadcast. Appreciate each and every one of you for stopping in and watching tonight's race. I can't wait to see what these drivers can do next week here at the NOMA Truck Series. Well, y'all have a great night, and y'all take care. We'll catch y'all on Monday for the Super Speedway Series. God bless y'all. Catch y'all next time.